D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to my video for a week in review, where I come to you every Sunday and I will bring to you, we'll talk about 3 shows, 3 movies that came out this weekend, and 3 news stories that happened this weekend. So why don't we just go ahead and dive into TV shows, and the first one that I want to talk about is Preacher. Now, I love this show. It's so great, and this week we saw a lot of different things happen. We saw Preacher finally invite Star to the parish, where he sat down with his grandmother, and they discussed how she basically just wants a bunch of souls so that way she can live forever. And Star can get her the souls, but he can't get her the souls without alerting attention to Allfather. And so he sends Tulip and the female agent to Japan to get a bunch of souls so she can live forever. And that is the debt that Preacher owes to his grandmother. Also, we saw the Vampire Coven he's that head vampire guy. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but he is not a good vampire. He's turning vampires so he can gain more power, and then he's just killing them. And I thought that was, I knew something was up. I knew it wasn't just he just let him go and everything was fine. I knew there was something up, but it was interesting to see that he ate them first, because I thought he just, would just put them in the sun right away or whatnot. So, but my favorite part of the entire episode was definitely at the beginning, where Hitler was working at like a Subway, and then Arseface and what's his name show up and everything. I thought that was just like the best, especially how he started his plans for taking over America and starting the whole Third Reich again. I know Hitler's a bad guy, but it's funny when you put it comedically, and so I thought that was definitely my favorite scene and everything. Okay, so the next show that I want to talk about is Castle Rock. Now, this show is pretty good so far. It's a little slow, and it's 5 episodes in, but I think they give you just enough each episode that it makes me not stop watching it. And this latest episode, and I don't want to talk about it in too much detail, just because I feel like if you talk about any part of it, you kind of give a little bit away. But in this episode, the prisoner gets out. They get him out of jail, out of prison, out of Shawshank, and the creepiest moment, but also it was really good, was when Billy Skarsgård's character goes into that family's house, and they're celebrating their son's birthday at night, which I don't understand that whole situation, but then he sits down in the shadows, and it's so creepy because Billy Skarsgård, he's got one eye that can look and the other one is just looking a little bit off and everything, and he can be so creepy, but he's sitting in the shadows and he just sits down and watches the family, and then they change their attitude from happy to they get very violent and everything. But I have a lot of faith in this show. It's on Hulu, and I can't wait to see the next episode, and to see how the season ends and where they go from here, and everything. The last show that I want to talk about is Suits. I love Suits, and I really enjoyed this episode. I have to say that the part that really I liked watching the most was seeing Louis Litt. I know that a lot of the time he, has to open up emotionally because he doesn't want to come off weak. And a lot of people see themselves, because they're a victim, that they're weak. And I think that this was great. He did such a good job. My favorite part was when he was telling Donna about, he was talking, it's not Donna, he was talking to Harvey about how he was mugged, and he was, crying, but he was just, and he didn't want to tell his boss because he didn't want to come off weak and everything. Also, I just want to say, I don't like the character Alex. The actor that I like the actor that plays him, because he does a good job. He was on the show Psyched. I don't know if you ever watched it, but that show is pretty good. But he's a good actor, but the character, I hate his character. I hate him so much. I don't think he talked about in this episode how he was a good lawyer, but I don't think he's a good lawyer. I mean, I don't know anything about lawyering, but as far as this show goes, I think he's the weakest character as far as, just, storyline goes, because I don't care. I hope he doesn't make name partner. I hope Samantha gets it, because she is clearly the better lawyer. And then, of course, Zane was being a total jerk, trying to dominate the office, and it obviously was not the best choice. And I think that in the episodes to come, he'll probably be a little bit more lax on that. This was a good episode, and I just can't wait to see. I really want to see the progression of Samantha's character. I really can't wait to see what happens with that one. So, moving on to news, the first story I want to talk about is more James Gunn news. Now, I know James Gunn has been in the media a lot and in everything, but Dave Bautista, he put out a tweet in support of James Gunn, and he has been very supportive of James Gunn throughout this entire ordeal with his Twitter account, and he had a lot of tweets where he was putting out pedophilia jokes, and then he was fired from Disney, and I've covered this, and I'm pretty sure you've read something about it. Everybody's covered it. But Dave Bautista put out a tweet, and he said, "I will do what I am legally obligated to do, but Guardians without James Gunn is not what I signed up for. Guardians of the Galaxy without James Gunn just isn't Guardians of the Galaxy. It's also pretty nauseating to work for someone who'd empower a smear campaign by fascist cyber Nazis. That's just how I feel." Now, this is not, Dave Bautista is obviously being very loyal to James Gunn, and rightfully so. James Gunn cast him as Drax and kind of got his career started. He's been in a lot of really good stuff since then. For instance, Blade Runner 2049, and even though that didn't do well in the box office, it's still a pretty good get as far as work goes. But then he was in an interview, and he said, nobody's defending his tweets, but this was a smear campaign on a good man. He said, speaking to Shortlist's Tom Ellen, and then he said, "I spoke to Chris Pratt the day after it happened, and he's a bit religious, so he wanted time to pray and figure it out. But I was more like, F this is BS." I'm paraphrasing, by the way. "James is one of the kindest, most decent people I've met." And then later on, he went on to say, "Where I'm at right now is that if Marvel don't use the script, then I'm going to ask them to release me from my contract, cut me out or recast me." And then he also said, "I'd be doing James a disservice if I didn't." Basically he's just saying he wants out of his contract unless James Gunn does the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And I'm just going to say right now, I do not think that Disney is going to rehire James Gunn to do the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I said this from the beginning. I think that even though I'm not against James Gunn, I am bummed that he got fired. There's no way that Disney is going to rehire him after his... maybe he could have got away with the misogyny jokes and the against transgender jokes, but when he stepped into pedophilia, it's like he stepped over a line that a lot of people will not tolerate. And I know that he has a lot of support, and the media is spinning this in a positive towards James Gunn field, but I still do not feel that they are going to rehire him. And it goes for, they fired Roseanne for a racist tweet, and I'm telling you, who is on Twitter right now? These stars need to stop getting on Twitter. They need to either delete their accounts or have somebody manage their accounts and only say nice things. Like, do not say anything crazy. You can say negative stuff, but nothing crazy negative. And I think that is, you know, Twitter is a downfall for a lot of famous people. So moving on to my next story, I just want to say Batwoman has been cast for the CW crossover next year. And Batwoman is going to be played by Ruby Rose. Now, I have to be honest with you. Ruby Rose has a great look. She's got a great look. I think that, you know, she was a model and she is a member of the LGBT community. And that is a positive. I'm glad that they cast somebody from the LGBT community because because Batwoman is a lesbian in the comic books, and I really hope that they touch on that. Not go like crazy into it, because I feel that if they did go into that, it would kind of take away from Sanvers from last season of Supergirl, and Batwoman does have a relationship with her in the comic book, so I hope they do bring her back, and not Danvers, not Alex, and everything, but and casting this, I don't think Ruby Rose was a good choice as far as actresses go. She's not a good actress in my opinion. I mean, even if you watch John Wick 2, she has a lot of action sequences, but those aren't even good. I mean, and she's mute, and I think that's her best part. I think that whenever I watch her on anything, I just think automatically when she starts talking, I'm like, this is not a good actress, and I really wish they would have cast somebody else. I don't know if you agree with me or disagree, but I don't think that this was a good choice in the sense that she has no talent as far as acting goes, in my opinion. So for my last story, I want to say Cyborg has been cast for Doom Patrol on the DC Universe, the streaming service for DC. And it has been given to, I think his name is Jovian Wade. And he is in the first Purge movie. And he will play Victor Stone in the upcoming streaming series, Doom Patrol, like I just said. And I think, I'm glad that they're having Cyborg in the DC Universe, their streaming services, but I'm kind of bummed that he's not on Titans, where he is a founding member of the Teen Titans, and instead he's reduced to go to Doom Patrol. I don't understand that situation, and I don't understand why they're doing that, and I wish they would correct that real soon. Sorry about that. So moving on to movies, what came out this weekend was Tell Me Your Name, The Meg, and Black Klansman. Now, I haven't seen any of these movies. I do want to see Black Klansman, but I probably won't get a chance to. If you saw them, tell me how they were down below. So what's next? Well, coming out in movies, we've got Mile 22, and that's starring Mark Wahlberg, and that's it looks okay, you know. And then we have The Happy Time Murders, and that's got Melissa McCarthy in it. And that looks funny, adult funny, you know, with the puppets and everything. And I do want to see that movie. And then coming out Wednesday is Crazy Rich Asians. And let me just tell you right now, I do want to see this movie. I don't think it looks crazy good, but as far as I will be seeing it, because as far as Asian representation in Hollywood and in movies, I really do feel that this is a good push forward and a plus. And so, and I haven't read the book. I just ordered it off Amazon, so hopefully I'll have time to read it before it comes out. I don't think so. It usually takes me about 4 days to read a book, depending on how thick it is. I will be seeing this movie within probably the weekend. It might be not Wednesday but probably the Saturday. Okay, so tell me what you guys thought about this video. If you liked this video, hit that like button. What did you think about the 3 stories that I shared with you? Do you agree with Dave Bautista and standing by James Gunn? Or do you like Ruby Rose as Batwoman? And how do you feel about them casting Cyborg in the Doom Patrol show? Also, you can tell me what you thought about the 3 shows we talked about. And if you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and help me out. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.